I was going to say, we can't get you on a bike because you'd fall over, but you wouldn't even be able to get a leg up over it at the moment in those pants.
I've also... I was kind of getting... Sorry for everyone in the front, I'm just up here now. I was getting this message at the start again, and I know it didn't necessarily connect, but I have to reference my sister Beck again. Now, does anyone unfortunately have a sister Beck in spirit? Oh, sorry, right there. Yeah. That unfortunately crossed over. Ah, but Will's Beck's son. Oh, perfect. Yeah, so you see, as you're talking, the energy comes right in. And I will sit with it, but it wasn't the one that I was still feeling before anyway. Now, as we're focused through here as well, I'm also got Taylor Swift in my head.
Well, that was, of course, the big event from 1989 that we spoke about.
Honestly,
earlier.
The very first thing I thought of when Luke said it, I was like, well, that was Taylor's birthday. But I was like, I didn't think he was going with that. God, I'm going to do karaoke again.
Sweet Caroline. Is that? No?
It's that song by... I don't even know how to sing it for me. Oh, I've been the archer, I've been the brave, singing who could ever leave me, darling. Can anyone connect with an archer in spirit? Anyone? No? Wonder? Oh, yes, right there, perfect.
Where was the hand? Oh, there. Oh, I understand. I was like, hang on, shoot it up to the sky. But no, we've got a tissue. I understand. Hold it together. Keep it together. I'll come round this way. There we go. What's your name? Laura. I'll hold the mic. You hold the tissue. It's all right. I'm moving my husband for this. It's fun.
Okay. So I did this in Melbourne as well, everyone, but as a disclaimer, this row here is friends of mine from the Gold Coast, and Laura is, I haven't met Laura before, but you are invited by one of my good friends that lives here. And unfortunately, I'm going to say Archer's your son, is that correct? Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. And the most beautiful, just smiley, happy, like, you know, all that my mum needs to know, Dave, oh God, is that I'm holding Daddy's hand too. Because he says, I know that you've been thinking of me, because Daddy's with me too. Oh. And he says, all my mum needs to know is that I'm with her. She was, you know, and he says, don't feel guilty for being worried that I was maybe going to be here today, Mum. He says, he says it's raw. So as I said, for the sake of transparency, because there is minor things I know here, but they did unfortunately cross in the plane crash, is that correct? Yeah, okay. He just said, and sorry to everyone here because this is a private conversation, he says, I showed you yesterday. Oh. No, and I didn't want to know anything. Yeah, I didn't even want to ask you anything. I didn't want to know a thing. So when I was with my friend yesterday, we were having breakfast and I just randomly, halfway through breakfast, closed my eyes and saw what was going on, and I was like, what is this? But it was, quite personal, but yeah. Know that Archer is just so happy to not only let you know that I'm okay, but he says, Mum, I never let go of your hand. And he says, you have to look after my brother. You have another son. And he says, do you know, this is your husband coming forward as well. Your husband's very attractive. Like, I know this is such an emotional... God, I can't control myself, honestly. Like,
you can't pick up a spirit, David.
No. But he knows it. Like, he's looking at me like, you're right. Like, he says, I'm so sorry because I know that we'd had conversations about taking him. And he says, I know we both had fears around it, but we never would have thought something like this had happened. But he says, we talked about this. He says, you know he's more into it than even I was. And this would be flying, essentially. How old was your son when he unfortunately crossed over? Because he's 5. Oh. He's such an old soul. Like, he feels older than me. And you have a younger son, is that correct? Yeah. And more than anything else, it's really wanting my girl, which is you, to really remove like any sense of blame that you somehow should have known that, you know, everything that we talked about, that, you know, something like, you know, the most inconceivable tragedy that has occurred, that we would know somehow that that was going to happen. It's a very personal thing, but he says, I need her to know, Dave, we're not saying this to make her feel better, but even before, it's a small plane anyway, but he says, but even before we reach Earth, he said, Arch and I had departed. So even before this event occurred, the souls had grabbed each other and departed. So they did not go through any of the physical element of the crash. And he says, tell the audience, but I don't know. So that's interesting. It's a very important message for, again, anyone in the audience that has, not only unfortunately lost a loved one, but especially through such, you know, tragic, horrible circumstances, that the soul always knows its journey on earth. And the human side of us doesn't. We know that one day we will cross over. We don't know how or when or why, but the soul does. And in certain circumstances, I've seen it again when I've read people that died at September 11th or the Bali bombings or, you know, real tragic circumstances, that the soul doesn't need to stay there for the actual event itself because it's learned everything that it's going to learn. And the actual physical concept of passing isn't relevant to the soul. So what your beautiful baby boy and your husband want you to know is that when things started going wrong, they're like, our journey on earth is complete. And we're not staying here for any of that. So please have the peace. And this is, again, a message that I got in my last live show, that the police weren't making it up. So anything that you've been told, you know, their souls left instantly. But unfortunately, there was the element of physical passing on impact. And Arch loves that you still sit in his room. And he just put a baseball cap on me as well. Now, I know he's quite a young boy, but he's just put a hat on. And he says, thank you for saying good night and good morning. And he says, all that matters, Dave, is that she knows we're with her. So thank you. Thanks. All right. Caught blowing kisses. I have to ask, actually, because he says they're here today. Do you know anyone else in the audience today, or do you know whether your partner knew anyone else in the audience today? No one said anything. Does this relevant? Has anyone else, unfortunately, lost someone in a plane crash? Ah. Over there, okay. Thank you.
Coming. Just got to kick Jay out of my way. I'm kidding. A non-violent person. Where else are we going? Where was your vibe? Here?
Yeah. And this would have been a plane crash quite a longer time ago, though. Like, it has to be, because I think, unfortunately, with that one, it was maybe last year or something like this, but this feels a bit more...
5-6 years ago?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Sorry, hi Vanessa, sorry. Are you with anyone today?
My sister Alana.
Hello, sister. It's a really interesting vibe, because it's sort of like, not that she didn't think that I would be here, but it's sort of like, no, I had to come forward and we talked about this. I hate asking questions, but what is the deal with the plane crash here? Like, what, because it feels bigger than a small, event, if that makes sense.
It was a small plane.
Yeah.
He was an instructor, a flight instructor on the plane.
Doesn't feel Gold Coast. I don't know whether that makes sense with you, but I'm not here.
It was to the west a bit. They took off from Archerfield.
Archer. I think, again, that's pulling in the random connections from the last reading. Okay, Archerfield. Yeah, more so than anything else, it's kind of wanting to really, not piggyback on the other reading, but it's more so wanting you to know that, again, a lot of the messages are the same, that in the elements of, like, what is still called the bigger event. So with this soul, for want of a better phrase, that has crossed over through the plane crash, there had to be something else going on in their lives at the time that was symbolising like a significant event. So I don't know whether it happened around a birthday, an anniversary, or something big going on in their lives. If you can't think instantly, I know I'm giving you a bit of homework to do there, probably after the show, but there's something about like connecting with the bigger events, but even though unfortunately I couldn't make it, or people were expecting me to be there. Now, it's nothing to do with the flight instructing, obviously, because it has to be more to do with personal life or anything like that as well. He puts his hand right on top of your hand like that. It's a real guiding, protecting thing. And he says, he's like, I don't know why she thought I wouldn't be here. No pressure, of course. Because he says, no, I'm going to take the opportunity to say hello. And then it says the element of guiding support. But, sorry to be so personal about it, but again is this reference that as soon as this plane event occurs, that again the soul leaves instantly. Now, do you know much, I'm so sorry because it's such a personal question as well, but do you know much about what happened in the immediate aftermath of the crash? Because there is a reference of possibly like the soul, the physical body still being alive.
They didn't survive impact. It was that hard.
Okay.
That when they pulled the plane
Because there's a reference of...
Sorry? Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Sorry.
Just a bit graphic.
Yeah, just going to be graphic. I didn't want to...
When they pulled the plane out.
Yeah.
We didn't even crumble.
Yeah, because he's so funny, because he's like, no, I'm still surviving on, Dave. I still survive on. Do you know, don't tell me his name either, but do you know whether there is anyone else in the family that was named after him or within his circle that carries on the name? Because there's about to be, if there's not now, that's the thing. So I know I'm giving you a bit of homework there as well, but like, unless anyone, I mean, they're probably not going to name like a 10-year-old after him now, but like, there has to be new energy coming in that is going to carry him. So it can be done in honour of course, things like that. But if you can't connect with it right now, don't stress, because I'll sort of see with what he's referencing as my circle, it's coming forward there somewhere as well. But again, it's more the element of just wanting you to know and the circle to know that it's sort of like, I'm okay, I'm all good.
I was one of the last to see him before he took off.
Wow.
We waved as we taxied across each other.
Yeah, perfect. Beautiful. Sorry, guys. Private conversation.
Private conversation in front of 260 people. Don't even worry about it.
But it took me a while to get flying again afterwards.
Oh, you?
Yeah,
okay,
and I haven't stopped since COVID. So.
Yeah. He's such a casual, lovely guy, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like if there's a nuclear bomb that goes off in the distance, he's like, oh, cool. Like, you know, like he's so. This is all good. Like, whatever. So, you know, he says, I know she doesn't know the whole circle, which is obviously his family and things like that as well. But he loves you. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not romantic love, of course, but I look at you like such a, like he's such a, because he's a real Aussie character at the same time as well. Like, it's kind of a bit of the Steve Irwin kind of vibe, but not that drastic. Sorry, Steve. But he's more so like, I just don't want anyone to like, and it may even lead into what you said before as well, but it's sort of like, I don't want anyone to have to dwell on it. Like, it's sort of like, you know, I mean, he just worded it perfectly. He said, but it's not meant to sound impersonal or like insensitive, but he's like, but shit happens.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I'm okay, I'm surviving on. There's the acknowledgement of me, and I know you referenced the flying school and you were there at the same time as well, but there is a reference of something about a plaque or something that has been done for him there anyway, that they're in the process of organising. Do you know whether there's any plaques? Yeah, so...
But I haven't been back for a little bit.
Oh, good point, you did mention that. There's something that they're also in the process of organising anyway, but they may have also just done something in memorial for him, which wouldn't surprise me anyway, to be very fair. Unfortunately, you know, that's where he flew. But yeah, just definitely wants to take the opportunity to say hello. Happy birthday as well, which I don't think is for you, but in a circle way. Actually, he's blowing. What's that?
About a week ago.
Oh, about a week ago. Perfect.
Not
After
good.
40th.
It's my birthday present.
Perfect. Ah, great birthday present.
Yeah, from her.
What's that?
She's the one that messaged you last night because she put the wrong email.
The wrong email with the ticket.
Well, it all got organised because they wanted you to not only come together, of course, but to bring as well. So that's something that I was about to say that I just want to go back to as well. No, he's like, oh, I'm good, don't worry about me. Perfect. But from everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful, thank you. I was like, how are we going for time? But I think we're fine. Oh, it's
Probably got
gone quick.
maybe 1, 2 max.
We're
left.
fine.
You're fine.
Anyone got anywhere to be? No. Well, you do actually. Yeah.
I got a flight to catch, but anyway.
I'm going to walk over here because there's again, it was sort of through here. Reference of my daughters here. And where does the name Reese? Sorry, Reese? Reese is in the physical world, but Reese would be my son. So if my daughter's here, does anyone have a brother called Reese? Reed? Has your father unfortunately crossed over? No, because I still have to reference him as my son. Yeah, that's the thing. I know I had Ryan, but I'm so... It's an Italian reference, if that helps. Oh, perfect. She looks so... Do you know there's a beauty editor in Sydney? I can't remember her name anyway. My gosh, you remind me very much of her. Please help me out here.
You want me to tell you a
she
beauty
reminds
editor? Name? Guys, I love
God.
skincare, but
No.
I can't tell you who's writing for Marie Claire. Sorry.
Perfect.
With the headband, is it you?
Yeah.
We'll pass this on down.
Hi, sorry, what's your name?
My name's Carla.
Carla, thank you for joining. Carla, are you with anyone today? Oh, solo.
By myself.
Thank you for coming. And I have your father here, I take it. Yeah, perfect. So you said your brother was Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Because I keep going like, re. Your dad is, again, he says, do you know all the things that I wanted to do today? But when I found out my daughter was coming here, well, of course I had to be here. But it's sort of like, she owes me one, Dave. She really owes me for coming. He says, I could have gone fishing.
Yep. Yep.
But he's so funny because he's like, there's nowhere else I would rather be.
Yep.
He loves your tattoos, which is good for a dad because usually they wouldn't. He says, there's a lot of things that I want to pass on today, Dave, because I want to talk about her mum because he says, I think I really fucked up there. Sorry to swear. Have I sworn very properly? The strength of my daughter, Dave, because she represents our whole family. And I'm just so proud of her for that. It's a reference of looking after your mum. Where's the mother figure in spirit for you, though?
Mums are here on Earth.
Okay,
Yep.
so the mother figure is your beautiful mum as well.
Yep.
Because what your dad wants to validate, that even in the physical world, he did kind of ruin the relationship with her. But then, oh God, you look like your mum as well, my God.
Oh, I look like Dad, exactly like him.
Well, you've got the same eyes, but mum comes forward with your energy 100%. Like, she's like, take it as a compliment, take it as a compliment. Like, to look at your energy fields, there's a lot of a clone of the mother energy for you. And then, yeah, you and your father have the same right through here.
Yeah.
He's smoking as well.
Yes.
I just felt like I was holding a cigarette.
Yeah.
He said, don't say vape. He didn't vape.
No.
He says, pussy's vape. And he vapors in the crowd. No, talk about that. He says, he's like, you either smoke properly or you don't at all. I'm like, I agree. I understand that. And is it Gary?
His name was Graziano.
Graziano. Beautiful Italian name.
Mm-hmm.
He says, just call me Graz.
Graz.
Yeah, perfect. I was like, know that he's still smoking as well, and he does validate that you still smoke everywhere. Like, do you smoke yourself? Because I don't feel, yeah, perfect. Because wherever you're going, you fucking smell it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of like, yeah. So he's like, and he says, I know that she acknowledges me when that happens, but please know it is me anyway.
Yeah.
Ryan either is like, what's the deal with these relationships at the moment? Got a partner or something like that? What's the deal? Wife?
He's got a girlfriend. He's been with her for a long time.
Perfect, because he calls it like.
Yeah.
Again, there's pulling on the rings.
Yep.
Ryan won't believe it anyway. Like, I mean, this has been recorded at least, but like,
say,
Ryan will be like, oh yeah, you spoke to a medium. Like, so let's talk some real shit about Ryan. But like, yeah, he's just excited because he does validate that Ryan's getting married.
Yeah. Wow.
So even with this girl, I know you mentioned they've been together for a longer time, but he's validating that this is kind of the one. Who you weren't a big fan of her at the start, so I don't know whether she's won you over. Has she won you over yet?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Good. Because again, she's going to watch. Yeah, exactly.
No, she's lovely.
And your mum does apologise for having to leave so early in your life. How old were you when your mum unfortunately passed over?
I was 5 when she left Dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes a bit more sense because it's sort of element of what I call it's kind of like multiple passings in some ways.
Yeah, okay.
But your dad's like, why? You know, he says, I wasn't easy. But he says, I'm pretty, your dad's funny because he's so cocky at the same time. Like, he's like, well, I'm pretty much perfect. But when it comes to relationships, it's sort of like, you know, there's things that I could have done differently there. But he says, but I had you know, with my kids, and it's only you and Ryan, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect, because I didn't feel any others. Nothing against them, but he says, but they're the best thing that I ever did.
Yeah.
And he says, to have me been able to raise them, and I know you mentioned that Mum left when you were 5, but, you know, it doesn't feel, I mean, you know, I know Dad hasn't passed it recently, but it's still recent, if that makes sense. Well, it's probably more recent. When did he actually cross over? Because it feels more recent than probably I'm thinking. Because I was thinking like 5-6 years.
March 2023.
Yeah, last year. Jesus. Yeah, okay. Because he's got such an anchored energy that you would think would be longer, but then he just made me suddenly feel like, yeah, it's probably more recent than what I'm thinking, so it's only unfortunately been a year. Okay. He says, you've got to light up one for me. And I'll be smoking again. Do you burn incense?
He did a lot.
He did, because I can smell it really strong, but he says get into the habit. So I didn't know whether you were doing it at all, so no pressure, but like get into the habit of lighting incense.
Yeah.
Make your house smell a bit. Incense gives me a headache. Yeah, I can't do it. I love it, but yeah, everything gives me a headache. That's it. But yes. Yeah, no, that Graziano is just so happy to be able to say hello. Please send his love to your brother as well, even though he won't believe it. Yeah. And he says, I'm just proud of my daughter, Dave, because the growth that she's had and everything that she's doing, it's all about mind, body, soul. Never forget that, never forget that. And he says, she's working on all three so well, and I couldn't be more proud. I thought you had a partner, but he says you've got terrible taste in men, so I'm kind of hoping you're single.
Yeah.
You are single?
Yeah.
I think.
Sort of.
That's kind of where I'm at as well, because I'm like, oh, I thought she was single, but Dad says you've got terrible taste in men. And then I kind of thought you had a partner, so that makes sense. Okay. I like him for you.
Well, he was at the funeral, at Dad's funeral.
Yeah, good, because he seems like a nice boy.
Yeah.
But before him, it's like, sis, what have you been doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, we've all gone, we've all been there. I'm still waiting to hear back from Nick, Katie, but that's all right. That's all right. And I was 14, so, it's getting a bit off. Well, yeah, it's definitely the same guy. But more than anything else, like I said, it's all about mind, body, and soul, and the evolutions that you've been able to have. Because what your dad shows you, it's kind of like passing on the baton to you in a lot of ways as well. He's so proud of the lessons that you were able to learn off me and the conversations that we would have. Because Graz, even though he's such a casual kind of like kind of guy, he's very deep in his D&Ms, and he's got nuggets of wisdom that he would just give you every 10 seconds for a dad. You know what I mean? Because we don't really, nothing against our dads, but we don't really think that they're like that. But he's like bang, 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 bang. Did you go through a stage, or maybe you still do, where you were wearing his clothes to bed?
His clothes?
Yeah, like an old T-shirt or something like that. Because he's pulling on mine and then referencing the bed.
I've got his photo right beside my bed. It's on my bedside table.
He says yes, but. So yes to that, but. There has to be something about old T-shirts or something about keeping them, or like having them. It's not necessarily in the bedroom, but like in the bed, which is a bit weird because you don't wear it.
The only way I can sleep at night is if I put a T-shirt on my eyes.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Every night.
I thought he was referencing his T-shirt, but he's referencing the T-shirt that you have in bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
T-shirt on your eyes. Have you heard of an eye mask, or like sort of like?
Yeah, it hurts my ears.
What?
They like squish my ears and they give me a headache. So the T-shirt falls off when I've fallen asleep. It seems to work. So I just do that.
Are you nocturnal though? Like, do you sleep during the day?
No, I just can't switch off.
Sis,
yeah.
Can anyone here switch off? Hands up if you can switch off. No, I get it, no. No, but he's incredibly proud. Again, it was kind of like when I had with my reading up here before, he does reference a big question mark. Mm-hmm. So, again, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit in front of everyone, but did you actually have a question for me? Well, not for me personally, but like, no, actually, we're going to stop that because I want him to just tell me. Yeah. You put me on the spot now. It's all around work, actually, because you're in a very strong transformative energy with work in particular at the same time. Dad wants to the... Thank you. She's a professional. She used to be in radio down in Melbourne, actually. She's amazing at... Were you on the Gold Coast as well? Hands up if you knew that. No, I'm just... No. Yeah, you did say before. Yeah. Anyway, it's not about me, again. So there's a reference of the gym in particular, but Dad says that you won't find him dead in there. But there's a reference of going there with you. Now, I don't think you necessarily work in the gym, but he's still referencing sort of more the corporate energies. But it's more sort of around a transition work at the moment. Mm. And he says, but that's okay, because as long as she tells me where she wants to be, we'll do this together.
Okay, that's reassuring.
So whether you've been having conversations with him already, great,
Yes.
perfect. Yeah, but because I was about to say, because if you haven't, just tell him, because he'll, Graz will get you there at the same time as well.
Yeah.
You've got the Gold Coast energy, yes, but work may take you other places.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is Gold Coast home for you at the moment?
Brisbane.
Brisbane, yeah, perfect. Do you live in Brisbane?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Nothing against the Gold Coast, but you're not working here, so that's why. So that's all right. How do you feel about a move? Where am I? I haven't been there. Where am I in my head? He's referencing Melbourne.
Ooh.
Sorry, anyone from Melbourne? It's a bit cold. Like, if you're in Brisbane, you can't move to Melbourne. How do we actually feel about Melbourne?
I've never been there before.
Smart. Just keep it that way.
Yeah.
No, we love Melbourne. Sorry. Catch up the eye roll on camera. No, it's fine. There is a reference of Melbourne, though, at the same time as well. So when we do reference to work environment, now I'm waiting for him to show me what you want to do or what you are wanting to, and he's not really going into it because he does reference to change anyway. If I said to you, okay, you can wake up tomorrow morning, you can do any job on the whole planet, what is Carla picking? Or where do you want to be with work?
Basically what you're doing right now.
Fuck yes, that's why he sent you to me in Melbourne. You could honestly do it because there's a real reference of how we combine all the energies that keeps you as like, I could put you anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, but I haven't been there before. So I thought he was talking about me, but he's probably talking about him, yes. But how do I word that? He's actually going into my journey in some ways as well now that you've said that as well, because I think every single person here can do what I do. Like, there's absolutely nothing special about me. Everyone can sing. Not everyone necessarily sounds like Pavarotti at the start, but you can do operatic lessons. And even for me, like, not to make it all about me again, but, I didn't believe in this. And for those that don't know, my background was criminal prosecution. Like, I worked for the federal government putting terrorists in prison, where they should still be, but Victoria lets them out. So, but to be able to have the human understanding of how life is before moving into more of a spiritual sort of open space, it works so well with being able to combine them both. Now, nothing against mediums that have been mediums from the very start, because they're still incredibly good at what they do. But to be able to see sort of both sides, that's what I think is a real benefit to me. So for you, with everything that you've done, where Dad references is not sending you to Melbourne per se, but putting you back in like me in some ways. So trust it, because you've got a natural ability already. He's referencing using the weapons, not actual weapons, but like weapons in spirituality can be tarot cards.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, perfect, good. Yeah. You're a natural.
Oh, thank you.
The cards, I have cards, I don't use them professionally, but I don't actually know how to use tarot cards. Maybe come to Melbourne and teach me.
Yeah.
But you have a really special way of not only spirit talking to you through the cards, but the way you interpret it as well. Yeah. So even as your dad said, take the jump, know that you're in a strong transition. It doesn't have to be one or the other as well, because if you still have like the 9 to 5 or you've got any other jobs, doesn't mean you have to quit next week. Yeah. My journey at the same time as well was I was working corporate and reading people on the weekends or reading people at night until, the tables turned in some ways. So trust it, because and I can feel it from you already, the more that we are talking about it. You have a natural ability, and you are also a healer. So there's a reference of energetic hands. So that can be things like Reiki, yeah. And massage. I mean... the whole audience is like, yes, book in. So know that you do have healing hands at the same time as well. But you use your hands for the cards at the same time. Not to put you on the spot again, any questions on that? Because he's showing a question mark, but it's more so about providing guidance, but I need my daughter to say it. But if you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, I feel like everything that you've said is just confirmation and clarity.
Good, say that louder for the people. No, I'm teasing.
For everything that I've been trying to ask Dad, I try to talk to him every day and ask if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm on the right path. So
yeah, perfect.
I think you've answered everything.
Take that as validation that it's a yes from him.
Thank you so much.
And you are definitely, when you get back to your home next, probably today, I imagine. Yeah. Your bathroom smells like a tobacconist. Like, you're going to walk into the bathroom in particular and it's going to be like, whoo, Who's been smoking in here? Take that as a sign that Christ is just validating and saying hello.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Quickly checking the time. It's 3 o'clock. How
I
have we
know.
been speaking for this long? I could go all day.
You really could.
But Spirit's like saying goodbye.
Well, you never know, like Bad Boys 2024 edition could be screening here in 2 hours, you know. We may
I
need
know,
to
I
clear
actually
up.
did want to pay the Taylor Swift Eras tour for you all, but Sarah Maree said I couldn't, so that's right.
Go down the
Let's
stage.
let's go
to
down
the
on the
centre of
stage.
the
Thank you. Thank you for everyone down the front here as well for getting neck pain as I'm turning around.
How do you feel?
I love it. I mean, this is just the most special thing, and I am just so grateful to be able to do what I do, and I can't do with anything that I do without everyone sitting here today. So, a massive thank you to you all. Melbourne, because I don't know how to finish up.
Yeah.
I just want to talk. But
That's my job. I do the housekeeping,
Yeah.
the ins and outs.
Yeah.
Well, that is your show, everybody, so please put your hands together for David the Medium.
Thank you. And
Also for Gregory and Luke, who were on stage earlier as well.
And for Sarah Maree.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Give it up for everybody who participated in the show and opened up
Thank you.
in front of so many people as well, which can be unbelievably daunting, which we know, but so special to have you all here, so special for you guys to sell out this show really quickly.
Yeah.
Now, you are obviously always doing your online things, the manifestation, meditation, people can jump online, and so then you can have David in your lounge room. How lucky. Ooh.
I'll dress up for it. No, so yeah, I mean, I think a lot of you know already, I do the 22 minutes to manifest sessions, so you're more than welcome to join, of course. For all those in Brisbane, I will be coming to Brisbane, but it's going to be a little bit a while away. It's in collaboration with Kylo, a wonderful company based worldwide really, but definitely headquartered in Brisbane. They've got the Kylo Medi Spa at the Khalil Hotel for all those that know. I'm so excited to announce that I will be part of their Kylo Summit in 2025. And is anyone from Sydney or Perth? I know we had a few from Sydney. Is it any hands up if you're from Sydney or Perth? Probably not Perth. But like.
If you've got some friends in Perth, you can let them know.
Yes.
Are the tickets on sale now for that show?
Tickets for Perth will be going on sale this week.
10th of August.
10th of August. And Sydney will be, I haven't announced this publicly yet because I haven't signed the contract yet, so don't jinx me, anyone. But we are going to the Sydney Opera House. Yeah. On August 4. Yeah.
So fancy.
So anyway, now getting to the fun part. I do have 2 beautiful prizes to give out to 2 fabulous contestants in the audience today. So these are on behalf of Kylo, the beautiful company that I was just talking about based up in Brisbane. They've been kind enough to donate 2 different packs today. The first one is a hero facial. So Kylo is a beauty and wellness brand, but yeah, they do have the Medi Spa at the Khalil Hotel up in Brisbane. That one. And the second one, Emma, yell out what the second one's called again. The Kylo Nutrition Feel Well Bundle. I knew I should have written that down. So the funny thing was, I messaged Sarah Maree earlier in the week, and I'm like, I didn't tell her what I was doing, but I was like, I need 2 ticket numbers. I didn't even say ticket numbers. I gave you 2
seats. Yeah. I thought you were asking like where you wanted myself and my husband to sit.
Yeah,
I was
well,
like,
that's why.
wherever you want, babe. I don't care.
So Sarah Maree has been kind enough to pick out 2 seats at random that I'm about to bring up. You reckon I'd be more prepared?
Do the first one and I'll deliver
so
the facial. That doesn't sound right.
Deliver the facial.
What'd you do on the Gold Coast? Delivered a facial? You're welcome.
We've got a bit of a theme going on with this, don't we? So the first seat is... How many messages we... G13. No, actually, hold on. It wasn't that one, was it? No, G13. Is there a G13?
Did you tell me to redo it?
Yes, I think I might have actually. Hold on. I don't know. We've got a G13. This is great, guys. Thanks
This
for watching.
is professional.
No, actually, sorry, G13, because G13 doesn't exist as a seat.
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
Wait, no, hang on.
Just pretend the last 2 minutes hasn't happened.
That's all right. We'll sort this out amongst ourselves. What had happened?
Is there a G13? No, there is a G13.
No, there is?
Yes.
Oh, well then, I'm coming over. Why didn't you say something? Jeez. Well, here you go. Get
So
to
that
enjoy
is
a lovely little
the
facial.
hero facial.
Congratulations.
And the next seat that Sarah Maree pulled out was S9. So I think S is... There we go, hello.
I've done myself dirty now. Great, now I've got to go all the way.
Thank you for coming. But again, a big thank you for everybody for coming today. I hope you are able to see in real time the power and connection with Spirit. And for the people that I was able to read, thank you not only for your vulnerability, but for allowing me to connect with you in a big audience like this. And what I want everyone to do, as I said at the very start, of course your loved ones are with you because they did bring you here today. But what I want you to do, when you go home tonight, I want you to ask them for a sign. And I want you all to think of something that is so specific to them, so specific to you that you won't randomly see that. And instead of me being able to prove to you that they're with you, allow them to prove that they're with you. So again, a big thank you to every single one of you for joining me today. You've been a fun, special, happy audience. Happy? Yeah. And again, thank you so much. I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Thank you.
Put your hands together, everybody, for David the Medium.
And to Sarah.
Thanks. Until next time we come to the Gold Coast, make sure you keep across all the social media.
Yeah. And if you are wanting to hang out with myself and some of the performers, feel free to hang around and we can have a chat, some pictures, whatever you like. There's a bit of an area set up outside the cinema as well. So all of us would love to see you there as well. Thank you.